screen. This guy's been around the block and back again. He had a great day yesterday as well. So I think G2, it won't be a free win by any means, but getting it will propel them forward to that top 16, one step closer to the trophy.
Let's waste no time then. Ooh, Hunter isn't. Little smoke spam all the way down the canals. He's knocked out Kixan from the get-go. Not the ideal start here for APEKS. When you're coming in, you really want to hit the ground running in a pistol round. And going a man down in a fight that you weren't even trying to take is not the start that you wanted.
6 damage dink. Oh, and there's so many players here. How do you break through this hold? Hunter just baiting them in and getting every single kill. We haven't even had to worry about his teammate hidden in at the back of the bomb site. Nico not needed. Stiko's out A, but that bomb is lost to the hands of time. 5 players moving over. And Nork just has to wait for Stiko, essentially. But it's already being held.
Yeah, it's been quiet for so long in this 5v2 that they're like, okay, someone's coming from somewhere else. And so JKS is just going to hold for it. You know, even if he flubs the execution here, which he won't. So never mind, I won't even entertain it. Nork, 1v5, he knows it isn't likely. And so he just goes, screw it, I'll throw myself in. G2 with a lovely pistol round under their belts. Hunter doing it all for them there. 1 kill through the smoke, 2 more to follow up, and dropping the bomb really did just kind of steal the round away, steal the show. G2 off to the races with that pistol going so dominantly their way. Not even a lick of damage done in their direction.
Hunter was the reliable one to start the run here yesterday in Paris against Mongols who were having some trouble. Hunter was the one player in both halves, especially at the start of the game when G2 were very quiet on their CT side with 6 rounds on Inferno. Hunter was performing. He kept it going across both maps, so reassuring to see him all reliable as ever. JKS and Nico here on the A site with that smoke down. They deny the cross, bomb dropped, and 2-on-4 for APEKS to work some magic. Deagles headhunting. And Monacy creeps in for the close. G2-0, unless Stiko says no.
Yeah, and he can't. Like, not with the angles they're holding, not with how they're playing this. You know, he gets 1v1 here on Monacy, but the moment he goes around that corner, he's exposed to like a layered peak between heaven and sight, so he is screwed, and the closer he gets to this corner, the more that reality sets upon him. Monacy never even gives him that 1v1, and so G2 keep that second round nice and clean, only losing JKS in the round.
Business. Felico now. And G2 get to come in strong. Good for the confidence. Whoa, whoa, what are you doing? No swimming. Wouldn't call that swimming, more drowning.
Chickens actually can't drown. Well known fact.
Why? Why can't they drown?
They were made that way.
Okay. Did they just float?
No. They can handle it. I know they're just made different.
Yeah.
Here we are, APEKS. They've got pistols.
Oh,
Jacob and JL.
All right. They say 2 J's are better than 1, and APEKS shows us why. Now this is exciting.
Yeah, now this is a round
not a
you want to
free
make
round.
something of.
It's
you know,
still not a free round.
If you're APEKS, it went from like, okay, yeah, let's try to do a bit of damage, to suddenly you're like, hang on, we could win this whole thing, JL!
Wow.
Another! And I mean, he is the guy you want stepping up. He is the guy you want being the kind of front runner for APEKS. Him finding success with the Deagle alongside Jacob here bodes well.
Nico disconnected. I'm sure he'll be back. I don't really blame him after that one. And they have to gamble, but unfortunately the dice have rolled off the table, Harry. APEKS have walked into B, and G2 will just save here. I mean, they would have fought for it if they came their way, but not today. APEKS win that full eco. Near about full eco, just Deagles, no armor. Get a couple of guns. Get a big smile on their face. They start their series earlier than anticipated. So that's the thing, like, yeah, G2, expected favorites, expected winner, but this is what I mean when I said that this game wasn't just going to be APEKS rolling over. They won't waste this opportunity, and they've already shown, even at the RMR, that they can compete, if not complete, wins against Tier 1 teams. Like I said, taking a 16-13 loss to FaZe, decent. So G2 are going to have to be careful.
Yeah, that is such a gift of a round that APEKS have been able to find there. You know, you're not going to get that every day, but it just gets them off to an earlier start here, right? This first rifle round, they've got all the little bells and whistles they could possibly want. And they even have a little bit of staying power as a result of how that last round was found, right? Even if G2 come out the gate swinging and immediately have a reply here, APEKS is still able to be threatening in the next round. So it gives them a nice bit of power to kickstart this game. On the flip side, you know, if APEKS win this, G2 are broke, and so suddenly APEKS are looking to take the lead. And their map pick in a series where they are the underdogs. You would love getting off to a hot start and having G2, you know, in their heads a little bit. Spam to flush HooXi out, and that will send him back into the site. Good damage from the nade, but defensive util coming out now, and they go running through with it very fast on this take. Shut out by m0NESY to open. They find HooXi in at the back of the site. Hunter waiting for this smoke to fade. JL on the other side, and he just turns away. Goes back onto the angle right as JL comes through. Good timing for Hunter.
Nice molly as well, but Jacob's got to move. It bounces a little far. Jacob can stay on default right now, and Stiko has the cover, not for long. It's picked apart. They know Jacob's still here, but Hunter goes clearing, and Jacob swings him 2-on-2, and he finds a second. That's sickening. Clutch for JKS. He's known for him. He's good for him, but they're not giving him anything. Smoke, flash, flash. They're just wasting his time, and there's not a lot of it. Kit, smoke available, but he gets fought by Jacob, just taking all these wide swings and closing the round for APEKS. Big pickup there. I love that exec. They have two mollies, one towards the back plat, but then one on the other side of the site, the front side of the site. And so G2 can't even swing and can't stop players from getting out to jail. HooXi has to smoke that molly, and then they know exactly where he is. He's inside of it. Very uncomfortable position for G2 to be in. Two mollies cause a lot of problems.
And you know, in the same way back in like the RR when we had that APEKS Sprout matchup, it was cool to see Jacob playing Azure. It's equally as cool to see Jacob versus JKS, right? I
sure.
mean, do like that head-to-head. There was a point in time where Jacob kind of was a resident Aussie.
Yeah, those were the two power players of teams, right?
They were kind of the two star men, and JKS has gone on to find a lot of success. So you can assume that Jacob really wants to try and show off a little bit today.
Yeah, he managed to beat Sprout. So bad that Azza left the team. I can't really blame Azza for that one, to be honest. Did look like just a weird atmosphere on the Sprout side. Right now, APEKS again avoid G2. And HooXi and Nico will save AKs, while m0NESY and JKS will go hunting.
Yeah, all in all, for a full eco, this is a nice outcome for G2. Right, taking two guns out of play, getting out of the round with AKs for Nico and HooXi. Gives them that much more to fight for in this next round. I think, you know, the difference between having Nico on the AK is nice.
Ran away. Got to play those stats just a little bit. 2 pistol kills for m0NESY. Not bad at all. It's G2 with attack.
So I hope this is the round where Hunter drops the AWP into play, because that's what we're all waiting for, right? Getting to see m0NESY with his big green. He has just disconnected, so little tech.
Get him out the way early, you know. First game of the day for these boys.
I'll tell you exactly what it is. It's just a Steam overlay bug. So easy, quick fix.
Get it gone. Get caffeinated. Because CT side ANUBIS, man, we've seen some trouble here. Absolutely. Some teams still trying to lay their hat on it and figure out exactly how to run that aggro. I think some of the good teams to look at, obviously Vitality, they love this map. Monty have got a lot of cool ideas. Ents have got a great T side on ANUBIS, lots of cool XX and nade stacks, but also we only saw one game, but we saw that map from Heroic,
I knew
where they had a fantastic,
Heroic, yeah.
I think 10 rounds or 9 rounds on CT side against Na'Vi at Pro League, but then they botched the T half and couldn't close the map, which is ironic considering it's a very T-sided map, but they obviously didn't have the experience on it in officials, and Na'Vi had a great, defense as well, but Heroic, picked that map knowing they were getting CT side, or left it open, I think.
Yeah, I think the Heroic match was like the one in terms of like bringing it to attention to a lot of the tier 1 teams, some of the ideas that you can look to implement on your CT side. And I think over time, we've seen this map become less crazy dominant. Like there was a point in time where it was like if you got like 3 CT rounds, you felt like you were still in with more than enough chance to come back in the second half.
I just want to see Heroic play it. That's all I want. And Molly goes flying, unfortunately. That would have burnt out Monacy, but he remains on the door side.
Yeah, and he did get dropped that AWP by Hunter as well, so he's bringing that with him. Flashed off the angle. They forced the youngster out of position.
Ow.
Full blind.
Thanks to Nico.
And having an AWP through the doors, he still manages to make it work. So Jacob on the receiving end of that Monacy AWP to open up this round.
JKS is a great position, and he can even call for a flash as well.
Hooksy's got so much info, pushed all the way through B, and so that's why G2 have got loads of extra players to reinforce this A site right now.
Big flank. They're going to go back, but they're going to be filtered into Hooksy. They don't even know about this. He's heard them cross. Second player, dropped by Hooksy, and just living here is such a problem. He's going to get reinforced. There's a climb up for Nork, ready. Back from middle. Gonna get his revenge. Nico, knife out, and 15 seconds, they found the gap. They faked out that B site. Crossing denied by Monacy, and so it doesn't matter anymore. A brief error for Nico, baited by the fake, but Monacy stops it from getting out of control.
Counter-terrorists win.
Yeah, in the pre-game interview when Mads was talking to Jacob, and he said, like, is there anyone in particular that you're worried about on the other side? It's like the answer is
everyone.
No, yeah, kind of everyone.
Also...
Everyone can have those games, and that's one of the things that's making G2 so terrifying. Is like, you dealt with Nico, you dealt with one of, if not the best, rifle player in the world, and you think that that's going to give you the room. You think that that's going to give you the chance to play through into that A site, and then you go running into Monacy, who does not miss those sorts of shots. That one was nice and free for G2 in spite of the gap that APEKS thought they'd found.
But an even game so far, and G2 will take that given the T-sidedness of the map. Oh, we got the set nades as well that JKS likes to use. Good damage, early 50, just straight off the top. And he's going to take main as well. He has the cover of the AWP. So Monacy, he doesn't miss him, as you said. He takes one. JKS suddenly able to help him out as Monacy escapes. This can be perfect. Volley's good timing. And JKS will grab that kill as they jump through, replenishing it with a smoke. They can't really commit. Good grenades. JKS somehow still standing. Great flash. And he just shoots through it. 2 kills is more than you can ask for. Monacy still has his position. They don't even know.
Oh, you try jiggling this guy. That's certain death, and Stiko learns it the hard way. Down to 2, the APEKS forces just get melted here on this attempt to take A main control. Flashing over into mid. Or smoke rather, gonna try and take this real estate, and Hooksy will offer up a kill, but tucked in close is Nico. He'll deal with Kicksan as he attempted to move in. Nork tries to fake the drop there. But Nico doesn't look like he's fallen for it. Waiting at the doors. Will get dealt with. Nork tries to grind a way in. Doesn't want to go the way of this AWP. Isn't left with any other choice. m0NESY on this angle. And Nork tries to come round. Dude, it's so wild. Like, you know, you can feel the fear, you can feel the tension in anyone when they go to peek an angle that you're suspecting that m0NESY's on. There's such anxiety around it.
There's only a few players in the world that can really instill, even as AWPers, everyone's quick with an AWP, right? Like if you're AWPing for a tier 1 team, you're good. But there's only a few players that really put the fear in you, like someone like m0NESY, you know, the Simples, the ZywOos of the world. But it's incredible how m0NESY is the real deal. And still continues to get better and better at higher and higher levels with more stakes.
See, that was one of the things that was crazy to me, because I remember when he first joined G2, and that was like, I think I even put a tweet out about it, like saying how it feels like he instills a great deal of like fear in his opponents. But a part of me always wondered, like, is that because he was like, at the time, I don't want to say an unknown factor because everyone knew how good m0NESY was, but you know what I mean? Like fresh to the level of tier 1. And so there was like this idea of, well, they don't have a lot to study yet. They don't have a lot to look at and know how he plays certain situations. They don't have that familiarity. So maybe that's like where the anxiety was coming from in some of these head-to-heads. You just knew he was fast. But that hasn't gone away at all, you know.
No, it's gotten worse.
Yeah, exactly. It's gotten, if anything, more pronounced because you see him doing it with such terrifying consistency.
I mean, he's proven it's not the honeymoon, right? Like, that's what many players do. They have the honeymoon and then they fall off. Like, someone like the inverse of that is a Yabby-type player who actually on his first, obviously played great for Copenhagen Flames, but on his first debut with Heroic was really poor, actually. And, you know, it's a hard team to slot into. Cologne, he had really bad stats. Heroic bombed out, but the more time that we saw Yabby in this team, the better he got. And so I think m0NESY, is comparable in the sense that like he's just improved more and more as he's played inside of tier 1. And now, especially that we're seeing G2, you know, fight for trophies, take trophies in grand finals. I think, you know, it's proven that, this is no fluke. This is no maybe. This is a guarantee that you're going to get this guy performing almost every game. This round is a wash. And so G2 win all their fights against Pistols this time. The Eagles do not threaten them. But we have a full buy around the corner. No AWP for Norg. And APEKS have to dig deep here on this T side.
They've called in their first pause here, trying to cook up some solutions early on. You just want to try and break through, right? You want to have something that works just so you can instill a bit of fear in the G2 ranks, because thus far, you know, these last few rounds have just been so one-sided, it feels like. And, you know, you've had kind of ways in, you've had like little glimmers of hope in the mid-round where you like claw back a man advantage to your opponent, but then it's the final few fights that just go so dominantly the way of G2 that you don't feel like you're making much of a dent. It's like you're getting some kills that have the potential for impact, but by the end of the round, they end up feeling like low impact as they didn't put you in a position to win it. m0NESY scoped up over here in middle. He's got a little gap on that smoke to play around. Free Fire is a very real threat here, and they go barreling on through. You breathe a big sigh of relief. That is such a huge kill to find. You knock m0NESY's AWP out of the round while you get this mid control.
G2 is so proactive. They've pushed 2 players A, 2 players B to, you know, try and trap lane, and they've cleared it out. It's a massive kill. They know mid's corrupted, though. They've got to turn their sights back to middle eventually. If they full send this, they just lose A. But the question is, do APEKS go A? Can still wrap this Temple B side. They've got some cool nades of APEKS. I've already seen some new lineups in this map. Going all the way over to land in the B Temple. Or, sorry, that's towards CT. Wow. What a way to flank through the spawn and go for this B hit. But with that smoke getting heard, Hunter knows what's up. HooXi locks them inside of the hallway. And they might have to come through. Creepy crawly.
They start to run out. Back to the site is Hunter, but it's just the one and done. HooXi can't stand the test of time either. It's JL with both the openers. The man to plant as well. There's this fast B main wrap. Nork scoped up, down at lower, gonna make quick work of JKS. And even though Nico's arriving on this wrap round, they are all looking his way. There were 3 players homed in on B main. Nico is dealt with, they don't break a sweat. And so they find that first kill in mid and they deliver on the round.
Some really cool mid-rounding from APEKS so far. I'm liking how they're using middle and obviously supplemented by getting that opening kill. One thing I've noticed from Monacy is both times he's either been blinded or smoked at mid and he's going to fall back. He doesn't take that like random smoke shot, that random blind shot to run away, like maybe not wanting to show the orbs there. But in that case, for example, if he fired through that smoke, he's going to get a kill. There was so many players behind it. So, wonder if he keeps trying to hide that fact. Because he could have survived if he got one with him. Hunter gets a big kill, trying to grab the AK and swap sides.
All right.
He's still in the hot seat. Monacy with a quick drop, catches JL looking nowhere.
Oh, there's a man through main trying to trade him, but Monacy just gets away.
What a move.
The aggression from Hunter over at long. He at least gets the spot that there were 2 players here, but ends up giving away that rifle in the process. I think maybe you're hoping that that kind of baits them into following through with this B play.
Yeah, that looks crazy, but that was a flash play for G2, and on a round like this, it's, you know, you've got to make a play. If you sit back in your sight, you'll lose. And he actually blinded the rifle, but it's the AWP from afar that provided cover. JKS takes his position, and so this may be unsuspected. Monacy, what a shot, and JKS even gets a pistol kill. How have they won this round? 3-on-1, 45 seconds. Stiko with a lot to do.
Stiko v Nico, the fight of a lifetime. And Stiko's gonna win it, but he's very, very low. He does not emerge from that unscathed, and so this kind of decides the round, you'd like to think. 21 HP, he's looking at long, he's toying with the idea, but he knows he can't do it.
Wow.
And so G2, with just pistols, managed to find the round. You know, couple of key moments there. Hunter getting the opener, full sending it out through long, building a very good picture of where APEKS were looking to end up. And then on top of that, you had Monacy, obviously, you know, can't go around without having this guy get involved. Dropping mid, which is
so
really
funny.
ballsy, right? Like, it's really not uncommon to have someone holding this from back over towards boat, having someone at the T-stairs. He just drops in, deals with JL outside of dark. It's something that clearly G2 are kind of prepared for. That's even been evident with how Hunter has been like hyper focused on holding dark in the rounds where he's been playing it. So they know that JL likes to root through here, and Monacy uses that to get the opener, retrieves the AK that goes on to give him the kill over Nork, that also handed the free AWP over to G2.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to be happy about at the end of that round if you're G2.
Just a domino effect of an eco, right? And that's what we talk about when we say the freedom that being on an eco round provides you. You can just do something insane, like drop mid, you know, with knowing that you'll probably get caught by someone peeking you mid, or as you said, at A stairs. But it was highlighted by the fact that G2 saw 2 outside of B. They knew the B hit was coming, and so of course as a player dark trying to split the B site. So honestly, yeah, he's still taking a risk, but it's a little more calculated. He knows he's got a player there.
Even the routing that he takes, the way that like he looks for that fight and then immediately ducks into dark, knowing that the response will be the guy who's watching A wherever he was is going to be rushing there to get that trade. Like it just shows great awareness as to how, you know, APEKS are going to look to go through their protocols and try to deal with that push.
Hooksy the AWPer. We know G2 love a double AWP on this map. And he's in the right place right now. Will these mollies be a problem? There's only one. They're not going out right now. They're just rushing. Oh, he's so blind. What can he even do? Flick missed. And a double entry as Hunter gets overwhelmed in lower as well. Don't go through the smoke. This is still winnable for G2. You just don't need to beckon them in. Honestly, he waits for no man. Nice shot.
Gap in the smoke, and Jacob is the one to win that. And so now it is too far gone. The AWPs are broken apart. And APEKS managed to find a solution on the back of just a fast B rush, some good flashes to get them in. These pistols, these MAC-10s close the gap.
Oh, yeah, nice to show APEKS can do that, so they can flex. You know, in the back of every kill, in the back of G2's mind, they're thinking like, he actually swapped back to the MAC-10, worth noting, didn't keep the AWP. In the back of G2's mind, they know that can happen at any point now, so might be seeing them start 3B instead of double mid. Done a lot of 2-man A main setups, have G2.
I can relate to Hooksy on like a spiritual level there. You're watching what Monacy's doing with the AWP all game long, and you're like, hell, I I could try do that, right? Like, I could try get involved. But yeah, you know, it's one where you end up kicking yourself at the end of it because it's like, you know, they were low on economy. They're running at you fast. The double AWP, maybe not ideal for that to contain one of these faster rounds.
Another broken buy for G2, but we've seen them do more with less. And they actually start very heavy on A main again. Try to get ahead of this with the same setup, JKS and m0NESY. But APEKS, worth noting, have never walked dry into A main. They've always supplemented it with flashes and mollies, or even smoking this position that m0NESY's holding from. So it's not come for free for G2. They've had to work for these A main fights, but that's why they have two players here. There's the smoke, right? Just to get this early control. JKS trades it out, pawn for pawn. Wasting their time. It's a good smoke. And they're not going to go through that in a million years, so Jacob fighting middle, pushes Nico back with a headshot. But they are vying for the A split. It's down to how much success Jacob can get in middle. But it's up to JKS and Nate. Oh, missed shot.
Yeah, rises to the occasion. He does well to get out with a double there. Throws the A-take into disarray. And now it's HooXi.
Hello.
Redemption arc with the AWP going to be needed here. It's him who missed a couple of sitters in that last one, but this time he gets his 1-for-1. He lives up to his side of the deal.
Big. Oh, he didn't volley.
Oh, Norks decided against the molly. Doesn't clear out Cake as a result. And Nico, oh, the shot misses. You know, you're running out of time. Jacob comes in to lend a helping hand. It's all on Hunter now. 1v2 as he roots in through middle. They're looking his way. They're ready. They're on the angle. And Nork is not missing a beat. 3 in the round. The hat-trick from APEKS's AWP.
Damn, because Nico's so scared of that mid-split that he knows is coming, he doesn't actually move deeper behind the cake, and he gets spotted by Nork. It felt like Nico was primed for that round right there, but he's not wide enough, he's not safe enough, and he gets spotted, only hits a tag. Of course, he was being wrapped, but had to commit one way or the other. And m0NESY with one missed shot, Harry, and look what happens. All falls down around him. JKS still gets a double kill, but it could have been a wash in main if m0NESY found the first. I like how APEKS used that Mach 10 as well. Sent Kixon jumping around the corner to prime Nork for the trade out on HooXi. That's a better trade for APEKS than it is for G2 in that moment. Oh, what a molly timing. JKS has to run through. The rest of G2 around the corner.
Oh, Stico. There's a lot of them there. JL will wrestle with the AK and knocks out basically everyone. Nico, last man standing, and with an AK in his hands, that's really his prize here at the end of the round. Gonna get out with the gun at least. That's something. APEKS could look to try and remove it, but I almost hope they do just play their own money here. And that looks to be the decision made. They're spread out a little, right? So if Nico does try and move too far away from A main here, he will go walking into them. They're kind of holding the extremities. It's a nice way of somewhat hunting. You're kind of boxing him in, keeping him in this little area. And if any moment in this Nico decides, well, I want to try and leave with the AK in case they are hunting, he would be dead. They've got him pinned in.
He might be dead.
The molly just full spreads. Damn. And so Jacob will knock the AK out.
Well, they can buy, but yeah, the AK would be a nice piece for Nico. Not today.
You know, I mean, I know it's still, at least in terms of G2's aspirations, it's still early in the run, but I do hope that we get like a very informed Nico start to show up as the tournament continues. Definitely. Because, you know, I think for the G2 storyline as a whole, a lot of it comes down to Nico and his lack of success at majors, right? The idea that this is meant to be his last chance to get one at Global Offensive, and so you would want him to play well in amidst that, right? You don't want it to be the story of like, oh, Nico finally gets his major, but it's m0NESY like doing everything.
No, it'd be cool, but also, yeah, you definitely, I have no doubt once we hit the arena, presuming Nico is there, and it's a safe presumption that he will perform. But yeah, I don't think I don't think G2 could win the major without Nico performing as well. Like, even if Modesty's going absolutely crazy, you need Nico. This is the best rifler in the game right now, one of, if not the best. So you need Nico. And I'm sure he'll deliver. Let's see if G2 can get there. Right now, don't get worried. It's CT side ANUBIS, they're holding on. It's a good angle for Hunter, but it doesn't convert the kill, and they don't commit, so Hooksy won't even get the trade offered up. He hears them run away, though. Will that tempt Hooksy in? Oh, it really could. Noog's still watching this. Nico found a kill in the meantime in middle. Jacob's been relentless in mid in these gun rounds. He's very low right now. Oh, JL's trapped. Been whittled. Nico wins another fight. Holding strong in this round when they actually need him. This is a swing round, right? If G2 lose it, it would be a pretty one-sided half, but they can still win it right now. 4-on-3. APEKS trying to walk into B.
Modesty waits down in dark. And they probably want to contact this, right? So he's going to get a free chance at the fight, and he wins them both. Doesn't matter what you give him, he'll find a way to make it work.
And I just love the aggro moves G2 are doing. They've just rushed A. Nico reset from middle to push with his teammate, right? Like, this is how teams have started to make CT side work it. You're grouping up and going for double pushes. Doesn't matter where, but just doing it in the mid round and trying to gain back information. They know it's not A from A main at least, and so JKS can reset. Nico can go on a big flank to play late. And Nork won't even get a bomb plant because JKS is here in time. Unless he plants for heaven, but why would you do that? Actually, he might do that. JKS has been main every round. Good call from Nork. But past that point, he is a dead man. Oh, the no-scope. Maybe we got something cooking here.
First step in the right direction. Nork, he knows he's going to have to deliver here across this series if he's going to want to go toe-to-toe with the likes of G2. Got one in the round already, 3 more to find, and Nork looked like he was going to miss that timing. Goes back for more. Nork, one short of making it happen, making that miracle clutch in the 1v4 come through. And it's Nico to rob him of that right. G2 tie this up at 7-all. It's promising, though, that Nork is able to stand and deliver like this, right? That is a good sign looking forward across this series.
It's even more promising that Nico wins both his fights in middle, resets, doesn't push into Nork's up mid, and he's the guy who has to close it in the clutch up as well. Did what he had to there. Way too close for comfort for G2, but they're just happy they get the round. 3 kills from Nico. A damn nice try from Nork. But very, very important trade. That has everything you would have wanted in that round. Everything but the clutch. Ooh. Almost.
Oh, that's awkward routing. Yeah, he gets caught on the little box made of sand or stones. So,
yeah. Oh, they're going through.
Oh, no sandbox here. It's a full-on playpen inside of this B site. And Hunter will get mauled. Plant found for APEKS here in round 15. It's a 2v3 retake. Nico and JKS, the one task with trying to offer this up. Or posted. That's one of the big red flags here. Nork has a good degree of freedom to get involved in some of these CT fights, and that looks to be his move. Nico knocked out of the round, leaves it all on JKS. And with how entrenched APEKS are, with how he's boxed in by the util, that there shouldn't be hope for him here. The AWP is on the angle, and Nico swings wide, so it's APEKS winning out this first half, 8-7. They get their revenge for Nico denying the clutch in that last round.
I'll go for a young player again. I'll try for an American guy again. Let's go for Breeze.
Guess the Mr. XCS player again. Hunter.
Come on, Leash. You got this one, bro.
No, it was a rifle.
North American, but not American. Well, this guy has to be an AWPer since the weapon he used is not AK and he's older.
Who's old? Okay, simple.
Come on, Cold Zero. No, it cannot be Cold Zero because you only had 9 major appearances and he's older than 25 and Cold Zero was, I didn't check.
It's open. I knew it. He played more than 11 majors. Device?
I'm guessing Fallen here, because that seems likely.
Less than 16 majors. Guardian. JTM. I think now it's showing orange box, United States, the same continent. Fallen, Gabriel Toledo.
Let's try. Okay. One. Oh. Poland.
That was very easy. South America, older than 27, or how old he was, and a lot of major appearances.
The Samurai battles onwards against the APEKS Predator, and right now it's split down the middle 8-7 in favor of APEKS, but CT ANUBIS is not easy, as G2 learned. We had some nice moves, we had some nice setups and aggression from G2, but APEKS, man, they've got some tricks up their sleeve, don't they? And I hope that applies to this second half as well.
Yeah, it's been an impressive start from one man in particular. Nork has really come into this hitting the ground running, and I think to be an AWPer in a series where Monasty's on the other side, and for you to be outshining, you know, is a very, very cool feat. Nork, someone who's been around for a good while now, had that stint in NIP as well. Didn't really feel like the kind of solution to the problems that roster was having back then. Oh, Hooksy, mid-air!
My God.
And JL is a dead man. Fast out mid. G2 have exploded into this A site. APEKS have a fast flank in through main available. G2 man advantage in the post plant. Time to get set up as well. And they're even going to take main back. Double set up here. JKS playing the same role in the T-side pistol as he does on the CT half. Oh, dealt with. First man falls. They try to reinforce the line here over towards main, but that leaves Monasty in a very uncomfortable angle out on an island. His teammates have dealt with Connector, and that gives G2 a lot more freedom in this 3v2 to pick and choose their battles. They're not getting sandwiched anymore, and so they will focus all that attention back towards main. They lock in the pistol, and it's Hooksy to make it happen.
Yeah, and Hunter's been really solid. Wins those post-plant fights as well, right? He's been in a very difficult role down in dark on the B-bomb site, playing those smoke fade timings. More often than not, his team would just lose B, and he would not really be able to get more than one in his rounds, but able to shut down his pistol, level the playing field 8 apiece. No force up. APEKS want those guns ASAP. Flash for B. Bit of aggro, and not much to it. Easy money made for Nico, and G2 getting rid of the pistols, as they've had no problem doing, with the exception of that third round.
All right, 1 kill for Kixan. Now that should be it. That's pretty much the end of the line here. Nico comes in, and so he's going to be like kind of the best Sanji ever here, as 4 kills off the MAC-10, has crowdfunded an AWP to come in at the earliest convenience for G2.
That's really nice, yeah.
They will decide against it, though. Playing rifles right now.
Oh, you baited me. I thought they bought it, Harry.
Nah.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need it, right? You don't need it by any means. Still, quote-unquote bonus. 2 Galils, MAC-10. Play with your speed. Limit test a little. Dark Smoke cuts Jacob off. We have a double main for APEKS and A. Running a similar setup. Harder without the AWP. They might even reaggress together. Ooh, catching two. Almost looking the wrong way. Modesty turns back in time and gets that kill. Nork is very low. He's on the clock. They're running him down. Cover comes in, and JL does save the day. That's the bomb. Modesty's also low. This is not guaranteed for G2. Back turn for JL as he heard them coming in through middle. This split was well timed from G2, and no one knows where to look.
Oh, JKS is on a timer here. He will get the bomb down, but this peak from main is coming. JKS, gun out in time, brings it down to the 1v1. Kixan moving in, has Hunter to beat, but he's tucked in up close. Good angle for Hunter. Kixan gonna have to nail this on the pre-fire. Got to check it as he moves around. He lands the dink, but not the killing blow.
Ouch.
That's the way the A1S, that's the way the M4 goes.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of orgs this tournament for reasons like that, right? Playing close positions despite the scope. And, you know, you don't like hitting the first headshot but still losing the fight. They have the same gun there. That's a round for Kixan. Nice save from G2. They use that MAC-10 fast out middle. Just get to death run their way for an A split. That's why you don't want the AWP as early as possible. They're going to run it back. MAC-10 on Hooksy against the pistols.
See, whenever Hooksy lets out one of his little ho-ho like noise, that's
mouse.
He does it a lot, right? Whenever G2 are having a good game, you'll hear that.
Sick,
yeah, it's got a very specific like tone and cadence to the laugh, and that's, you know, kind of like the war cry of G2 to an extent.
Old Michael Mouse. Harry does a great Goofy impression, but I'm sure he's too embarrassed to do it.
I'm trying to remember what Goofy even sounds like, man. Ruh-roh.
No, Raggy. Close enough. It's 10 to 8.
Just the pistols.
Yeah, it's just the pistols.
Still, we've seen them win these sorts of rounds before. Will this be another one of them? JKS and Honesty do not seem to think so. Neither does Hunter. All the G2 have taken an issue with it. And JL might find 2 on the backstab. But everyone else has been dealt with in the site. We try to give him this fight here. Hooksy, moment of confidence there as he runs down the last man.
All right, G2 in control, but let's see a full buy for APEKS with everything they need. Hopefully Nork on the AWP, and indeed he's got it, because this guy put up a fantastic first half. Almost got a 1v4 clutch.
Feels like, you know, G2 have kind of held off buying the AWP till they knew APEKS have the money to bring their own out. So they've kind of waited till now to bring that AWP into play. Both AWPers with the big green.
There's also the pace of the rounds they're playing, right? Like, now there's loads of util and there's everything. There's going to be a more standard round, more of a default for G2, but in the previous rounds, they're playing MAC-10, they're playing as pistols. There's no mollies. They can go fast. They have freedom. Now you know the AWP is here. JL, scary in middle. The smokes are down. He's trying to make up his mind. He'll get one in the middle. But they can still play through and over this. That lip on the left wall gives you a nice angle to fight. Well, Jacobs won the fight to Nico off of a B push, killing him in middle. Hooksy don't care. He just lobs in his smokes for the A attack. Monacy patience pays. Oh, but he misses again. He will follow up. JKS can swing and trade that kill and keep control of A and the bomb. Even through a smoke for Hunter.
That is crazy. Like, Kixan's even trying to consider the timing. Right as he goes to look away is when Hunter emerges. That's going to seal the deal on this round. G2, they make it happen. You know, one or two moments in there where it looked like APEKS could have got something going. There was that push all the way through long out of Jacob that netted them the opener. There was even, you know, the missed shot from Monacy and the trade found on him over at main. But JKS lives in this corner at A main, lives in the cubby. And he was there ready and willing to get the trade, safeguarding the round, especially when you factor in that mid-timing found by Hunter. And I do like how much of a problem, how much of an emphasis G2 are putting on middle, right? It's kind of scary because it's making any rotate, anytime you're pulling players off of mid to go and reinforce a bomb site, you feel like the punish is immediate. And so that might slow down some of these rotates as time goes on. It might start pulling you know, players away from other sides of the map to go and reinforce middle. You know, it's kind of like a domino effect almost, right? Even though you started this round in a 5v4, you were still feeling that need to get aggressive, still feeling that need to take a bit of pressure away because you're a little lax on mid, and you know how much G2 are exerting their control there. Timeout called in for APEKS. They've quickly racked up the majority of their timeouts being used here, as this CT side is encountering a lot of problems.
Yeah, and that's despite them, you know, coming in with some plays being made, some pushes. Right, you can't sit back forever. We've seen the effect of passive CT sides with exactly what you're talking about in middle and some of the A splits G2 have had, pushing smokes, and Mac-10's running through Acon. So yeah, clean half right now for G2. Let's see if they can keep it so in a crucial gun round now for APEKS. North of the orb. B for now. Being that first point of rotation though.
So I think if you're G2, you kind of just adopt the mentality, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like, go back to taking this mid control. It's been yours every time you've wanted it.
One way.
One way around the smoke for Jacob. For Monacy.
How do you play against this guy? Can't do anything. He knows. This just must be the most frustrating thing in the world. You don't even see Monacy.
Dude, it speaks volumes because while the smoke was down, Kickstand didn't even feel safe to try get the gun. Like, that's how like paranoid he is about going into this all. It sits at the bottom of canals right now.
You're scared for good reason. I can't even blame the fear. Hunter's killed JL as well, and he's reset back to A. Nico can be left here, but he's already skirting back. Nork can cut this off because Nico's taking middle. It's a chance here. Big shot for Nork. Gonna have to go and reinforce A. They're gonna hear this rotation.
Yeah, Nork very much was the guy to keep an eye on here. He's got to stand and deliver now, and that's a clean kill.
Oh.
Nork, the highlight reel is rolling. Here it is. Oh, out with another. That could have been a fourth, but it just falls shy of finding. Oh, no cover, no cover. No one's watching. Hooksy comes in a little later, but he can't win the round anymore. JKS gets hung out to dry. And Nork's heroics are enough to win that round.
Oh, that's a massive mistake for Hooks. He goes back to watch flank, but he can watch flank from the site and still cover JKS. All he needs to do essentially is die there to set JKS up for the round, right? As long as the plant goes in, JKS is in position to win it. But Hooksy goes back physically for the flank, and Stiko takes that gap. A heroic play from Stiko, but a massive blunder from Hooksy. And like, that's, you know, he's not afraid to die for the team as this guy. He knows his spot, but yeah, completely outpositions himself.
G2 kind of recognized that immediately as like their first, like, I want to say glaring unforced error. You know, I guess you could maybe make a case for like the double AWP up against low econ as another one, but that's like one of their two missteps so far, right? And much akin to how last time that triggered an attack pause, they've called one in immediately again. They want to try and address this problem early on. You know, always demanding perfection, even though that's one where, like, in hindsight, you look back at it and you go, yeah, it's obvious what the solution is.
Yeah.
Still just wanting that time to talk it through, make sure you don't repeat any mistakes, you don't give APEKS a chance to come back in here.
Yeah,
it's an immediate refocus heading into this next rifle round.
You won't be talking about that specifically, right? Like, you know, Hooksy knows he's screwed up, but it's more the how getting into that situation in the first place. Nork able to multi-kill from heaven, set APEKS up very well. So G2 need to be careful because they know what the big player, the big problem is on APEKS right now. And it is that orb. Again, starting B for Nork, but he'll be needed to rotate middle as Hunter once again peers through this mid Molotov. And look how much room he has. This forces that rotate. It's playful for now. Nork watches dark. The bomb is B, but 4 players of G2 are set up for this A hit right now. Gonna have to end up going through that temple smoke eventually. This is a nice fake out, but it doesn't work because they lose both players. And I say fake out, the bomb is still B, boys, but they're going through heaven on A. Is this meant to be happening? Honestly, is so far out of the picture right now. Crucial kill for JL, but Hunter has rolled out the red carpet and Monacy needs to run it now to get back to this site. This is awkwardly out of position, but APEKS don't know it. So they're in no hurry.
Yeah, I think right now you just have to wait. Right? You have to kind of admit that you've hit the weird zone of the game and see if you can catch anyone in rotation. So they're trying to see if anything's offered, but nothing's gained. Monacy left in this alone. 2 players up in heaven to deal with him. He's going to try and take the routing back in a B. Monacy in the 1v3. He will have time to get this bomb planted. He will have time to embark upon this clutch. Rev was the time for the flash to show us what it's got. It's now, but they're close, already through CT. They are hot on his heels here, and Nork will nail the shot. I really, you know, you've got to give Nork credit for the display that he's showing right now, for the performance he is giving us, 22 and 12. He is the top performing player in the server. And, you know, it's taken, you know, kind of being pushed to their limits, but sometimes that's what you need. You need someone to give you that goal, someone that you go, I want to be better than this guy. And it feels like that's what Nork's doing right now.
I don't even want to say that was a mistake for G2. I'm sure they had an idea behind it, but I thought they were going to use the mid-split to actually go temple and fake out that A hit. Sure, they had players trapped in A main, and I guess APEKS did get way more kills than G2 were ready to concede in that position, but with Monacy outside of B with the orb, waiting for with a bomb, waiting for the push. He gets a kill, they reroute perhaps, but he doesn't get a kill, and look what happens. It's such a long road to get back to A for him. Like, I'm thinking, what's the best case scenario there for G2? Well, they kill everyone in A main. Monacy's still in the wrong position with the bomb. So, what was the grander scope there for G2? Either way, it doesn't work. A clutch denied by Nork. A kill that has higher impact than, you know, you can imagine. Because Monacy's ready to win that round, I'll tell you that. This game is tight. 2 rounds in a row for APEKS. A late activation on CT side. Oh, the jump spot. Monacy didn't see it. And Nork again wins that fight. This head-to-head is getting very interesting.
I mean, it's got to be Nork-sided by now. It has to be.
Yeah, surely. I mean, Monacy... Ooh, that's Hooksy go. Okay. Standard molly. Nork goes for more. Oh, yeah, they set him up.
He's having a field day right now, is Nork. Quite the sight to behold. Look at this. Jacob once again with this B-long aggression. G2 not ready for it. I mean, you know, you're in a 3v5. You don't expect them to keep the aggression coming through. And even these guys that have made it out through dark know they're on a timer. They know that Jacob will come swinging in. They end up dealing with him. However, JL is quick to feel the gap. And so 11 to 12. The scoreline starting to shrink on down. APEKS, they're believing in this comeback here. They're putting a stop to the G2 run. They came into this second half, did G2, and they won 5 straight to launch themselves up into the lead, but that is quickly starting to disintegrate. Now just 1 round between these squads and an eco round looming for G2.
These rounds are clean as well, Harry. They're decisive. It's not clutches. Can't put it down to unlucky. We'll get them next time. G2 are having trouble getting into post.
I mean, dude, I think it's really going to beg the question, what would have happened all those rounds ago if Hooksy didn't bail out on JKS?
Oh, it'd probably be over. Nico, what a
doing
double.
What he can. Tech9 going to open up, and now he's got the AWP as well. He loses a teammate. Hunter is dead. Nico's got to do this alone. He's on for the ace right now. One man doing it all. We've had quiet games from Nico so far, but he might be here to put G2 on the map. That's the Nico round we were waiting for.
That's the player we know and love. What an entry with the Tech9 tapping every single head. And Nico, he's partial to an AWP as well. He can wield it when necessary. And the clutch to close it. Everything G2 needed to shoot them back up to the stars. Beautiful Tech9 for Nico. And what a hunt as well in the 1v1 to play the gap in the smoke. And there's the Hooksy howl back again.
And now it's like your worst nightmares are coming true, man. Like, you know, we touched upon how good Monacy's been, the fact that everyone else has looked lights out. It was Nico quiet on day one, but he's not quiet anymore. He's risen to top of the board for G2. And just what a way to kind of break through an APEKS that we're really starting to believe. One man with a Tech9 goes on a tear, robs you of a round, stops your streak dead in its tracks, and, you know, calls everything into question here. APEKS, they've got an investment, but it's really not pretty. It's got severe limitations. There's next to no utility. Plays will have to be made in this round. And if they lose it, they likely end up losing this map on the economy alone. So a gut-wrenching position to be in.
Well, they need plays. They've got the playmaker. Nork has his AWP on A alone, entrusting him with an entire bomb site, but one that may be avoided entirely in round 25. G2 are taking Dark right now with Util. Molly's either which way. Jacob and Kixon on the site, and we need that mid-rotator soon as well, because G2 are announcing their presence loud. He's on the Mac 10, first in. Smokes are a real problem, but Kixon plays ahead of one. Swinging long, that's dangerous. They need a double from it, and Hooksy hits that perfect timer. Hammer on the head of the nail, and breaks this B site wide open. Bomb plant, these are the rounds that G2 do not lose, and APEKS know it as well. They have to save and play that economy game. 14-11. An ace for Nico, and everything changes. APEKS are back on the pain train.
Yeah, this save is essential, and you know, G2 won't come knocking, they won't come hunting for these guns, so they're at least going to hold them going forward, but the kind of nature of the game has changed, right? It went from APEKS really believing in this comeback, feeling like they couldn't set a foot wrong, having the rug pulled out from underneath them. G2 is sprinting towards the finish line now. And we're still in that spot where, you know, for APEKS, the money still very much is the thing deciding the outcome of this game. You're left hinging it all on a force buy here. Up against 14, you're putting everything on the line. A couple of Famises around the saved AWP and M4. That's all they're able to muster. And so, you know, we didn't really get, like, Nor getting super involved there. He was relegated to the save very early on. This has to be his round. This has to be where he provides what he's done across this entire map so far, which is these insanely convincing AWP head-to-heads that he's had. If there ever was a time for it, here's this B-long aggression that we've had as a consistency from APEKS.
And I love the molly from mid behind it as well. It means someone can't hold and jiggle you from afar. They have to play inside of the ruins area. G2 don't care though. They just elevate the pace and go back to this mid-aggression. JL, stuck on the corner, still takes one with him, but that deep smoke provides Hunter a window of opportunity, and he'll take it. This A-split is coming in hot, and the flank's been denied as well. It's all on Nork.
He's got to do it, but 3 players over in main, 3 players coming his way. It's the collateral for Nork, and down in the 1v1, Justin Savage versus Kixan. He's grabbed the bomb, looking for the plant, looking at the heavens. Kixan doesn't move in. He takes his time here, but that's given the plant over to JKS. And a little bit of breathing room in the site. He picks and chooses his battles, and he finds Kixan rooting through the connector. APEKS now know that the curtains have been called on this map. There shouldn't be a chance for them moving forward. G2 on the back of that Nico ace on a Tech 9 look to win ANUBIS.
What a great reaction from that B aggro. G2 have seen it time and time again. They knew exactly what that molly represented, and they go, we don't care. We're just going to commit in. Doesn't matter how much dirty work Nork can do. G2 put him back in the washer. He's had a phenomenal game as the Swedish AWPer, but it is still not enough. They are broke, Famises, and aggro with nothing to lose. A gun not out in time. Nork dies after a dink. It will be traded. There's still more questions in this round. Stiko in a smoke. Ooh, spotted, and falling off gets caught as well. Punish towards B for Nico. He's ready to end this map in style. 3 kills on a plate. Nico tucks in, and Hunter helps out to find 16 rounds for G2. That is the map locked in. Their opponent's picked up as G2 set to embark on the 3-0 run to the Legend stage. It is within reach now. Inferno is up next, and we'll see if G2 can complete and convince that 2-0 run.
Yeah, wow, what a way for this to go down. And so we'll have that second map locked, loaded, and ready to go in just a moment.